Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm just gonna get right into it today. We are gonna finish up the turbo on this flathead powered Farmall M of ours. We've got cooling lines and oil lines to route to the turbo, as well as we still have to make the exhaust portion where it will come out the hood. But first off, we will do oil lines. I've got to figure out cooling lines and what I'm gonna do with that. Some thought is gonna have to go into that, so that will be second, probably somewhere in the list. But that's what we'll be working on for this week and the start of this video. So let's get after it. So to start out, I am going to remove the filter system, since it was actually, from what I can find, it was optional from the factory. So I've ran a couple filters through it. It comes out clean, so I'm not really worried about any junk going through the motor. But for this temporary purpose, we're going to remove that, and we'll just run the high pressure line directly up and into the turbo, and then the drain back into the normal drain here. And that way we can make sure we're getting proper oil feed up top, and as well as draining back down into the timing chain area in the front. Okay, so we're going to see here. I'm gonna leave the drain line free, and we're gonna start her up, and we're gonna see if we can get oil draining out here. I'm sure I gotta just leave a few threads so it can leak, and then we'll see what we end up with. So I ended up splicing these lines together, high pressure, so the pressure line up, and then it drains back down. It's just a press fit rubber hose right now until I pull the turbo off and make a legitimate flange, but I think it'll stay in there for what we're trying to do. So see what happens. Okay, plenty of oil getting up here. My fitting is not sealing, so I have to do something about that. But we are getting plenty of oil up top, as well as plenty of oil down to the timing set. So we're on the right path. Okay, we've got oil lines plumbed in, no leaks out of that. So I think with it being like that, I'm going to just take it for a quick spin, see what it feels like. I'll obviously have to give this a little choke to get the right mixture, but it's no big deal. So yeah, take a spin around the property and see what it's like. Guys, continuing on, we are starting a new project today, just sort of a garden cart of sorts. I want to just have something to drive around the yard, maybe pull a small wagon, haul a little dirt, plants, just random stuff. So we got this old tiller. It needs a little work to the engine. I have done some work starting in the past before the YouTube channel started. So there is some progress that has been made, but not really a lot that it's gonna change how this is gonna go. We still have to take most everything apart and convert from there. So the plan is to convert from tines to tires and then figure out the back half, how we're gonna basically ride back here, and then from there, you know, we'll figure out little odds and ends at that point. So with that being said, I will show you what I'm working on. So this here is, I'm not sure what brand tiller. Everything on it is Briggs & Stratton. I haven't been able to find anything that's too similar. But basically the original engine was hurt, the cylinder walls were scored, there was no compression, it wouldn't run. This is a motor off of a push mower. It is 3.5, the original was 3. Obviously the bolt pattern on the base is the same, the top cover is the same, so I converted that, converted the throttle up here. So all of that functions like it's supposed to here. So that's good to go. But we do have a clearance issue on the cover. There's something twisted. I believe it's just this dent here. So I've got to fix that. And then we have a spark issue. So we'll have to pull the cover off. It's just been sitting too long, I think. And then I will also have to work on the clutch. For these clutches, it's more of a, it's like a sandwich kind of thing. So we'll have to get this figured out. Yeah, we'll have to adapt the output shaft, things like that. But we just got to make sure this is driving before we can convert it to hubs and tires. So first thing we'll do, start tear down, and then we'll, yeah, move on to even cooler things. Okay, could be better, but it does run, it doesn't chatter. It's probably like spark plug issue. It might be the gap, come to think of it. So now that I know it runs, I'm going to, well, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'd like it to run better. So I'm gonna check the gap, maybe change out the plug for one that I know runs good, and yeah, see if it'll run better. Also tighten these mounts. Okay, so let me show you the difference. So basically, the reason it's sitting this way is just so I can explain. This engine, being that it was a push mower, has a longer output shaft. It's a 1/4 inch longer than the original motor. So I'm gonna cut a 1/4 inch off, and then our specs will be the same. We can throw the clutch pulley up on there, throw our bolt in, bolt it back up, and then we can make sure the clutch engages and whatnot. And from there, we should be able to start to work on adapting the tines to wheels and tires. Okay, so we've got everything mounted up. I did have to space it because this case has a, I'm not sure, like a low spot there for some reason. So I had to space it down with a washer, and then I had to make my own bolt because that's a little different, but we got our own bolt on there. So let's get her bolted on and try out the functionality. Okay, so now that we know the modifications run and function as a tiller, we can move on to adapting the front end to wheels. Obviously I want to, I don't want to mangle any of the output shafts because I want it to be able to be converted back. So the idea is the hubs will slide on, pin through, and then we just bolt the wheels. And then, if this gets sold down the road, I can sell it with the tines, and then they can convert it back to a tiller if need be. So we'll work on getting those tines off and see if the hubs I have work, and go from there. this half of the project runs and drives. It's actually pretty neat, and it's a lot faster than I was expecting. So yeah, and the clutch type is kind of on or off. It's not really a slipper style clutch, so you know, when whatever this turns out to be when it's driving, it's just going to be all or nothing. So you know, we got to make sure the steering and whatnot is pretty safe, but still trying to figure out exactly what I want this to be. It has a lot of pulling power. Yeah, it's geared super well. So, you know, I think it'll be able to haul something fairly heavy. So I basically have to figure out what I'm going to attach and then how it's going to steer. But, you know, for this running gear, basically, it is super solid. Couldn't be happier with this little setup. The push mower engine works great. The way I adapted it, couldn't be happier with that either. So with that being said, if you guys have any ideas as to what I could build this into, please leave me a comment. I have a couple ideas, just not 100%. So yeah, please leave me a comment on that. And that'll be it for this video. Remember, hit that subscribe button for me. Leave me a like and comment what I should do with this. So, yep, that'll be it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one.